Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the skies. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb or not? Let us die young, let us live forever. Don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in the sandpit, life is a short trip. Music's for the sad man. Can you imagine when this race is run? Turn our golden faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, getting in tune. The music's played by the madman. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever. Summer like water, summer like the heat. Some are the melodies, some are the beats. Sooner or later they'll all be gone. Why don't they stay young? It's hard to get on without a cause. I don't wanna perish like a fading horse. Youth is like diamonds in the sun. Diamonds are forever. Many adventures couldn't happen today. So many songs that we forgot to play. So many dreams swinging out of the blue. We let them come true. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever.
Like most people, I learned a lot from my grandmother growing up. She taught me how to shoot a shotgun, how to skin a rattlesnake, and how to drive in a truck without brakes. But more importantly, I learned 3 life philosophies. Number 1, food is fuel. Number 2, there is always a better way of doing something. And number 3, if you're not willing to endure a little discomfort in your life, you're going to miss out on a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for teaching me and disciplining me through life. It's been a great many 21 years, and I can't believe you're gone. Thank you so much for teaching and showing me how to live my life to the most adventurous, fullest. It was amazing. Thank you.
I guess the thing I'm most grateful to Hunny Nun for is how she taught us all to be critical thinkers. She was the first one to expose me to anything I ever showed a remote interest in. I could always count on her to be happy to help me, but she always insisted I figure it out for myself. And if it didn't work out the way it was supposed to, it wasn't considered a failure, just another part of the lesson. I grew up thinking everybody thought that way, but it wasn't until I got into Laurel Oaks and started implementing that philosophy that I realized what a true pioneer Hunny Nun really was. So I guess it's not just her own children and grandchildren that were exposed to Hunny Nun, but all the hundreds of children that have been exposed to what I'm going to call a Hunny Nunism.
Hunny Nun taught me that you are never too young for constructive criticism.
And I will always remember you for trying to teach me to paint and draw. And here are my 2 examples that you have guided me through. Thank you.
Hunny Nun, I remember when Trevor and I were really young, you taught us how to shoot guns. And so I remember you going under barbed wire and crawling through the water and teaching us how to handle guns well.
And Hunny Nun, I remember you helping me out for college. You gave me $1,000 and you just told me to always value my education and my learning, and I thank you so much for that.
We've always appreciated the way that you just want to learn and grow who you are.
I'm so grateful to Hunny Nun for teaching me so much about photography. She taught me how to see light, and she taught me all about composition. And if she was here today, she would make sure that you all knew that I never finished my homework assignment.
Hunny Nun taught me how to sew. One time when I was 9 years old, I went up to her house and she taught me how to sew a pillow. It was great, but the problem was that I was left-handed and all she had were right-handed scissors. So the next day, she went out and got me my very own pair of left-handed scissors. It was a really kind gesture, but the second I picked them up, I started using them with my right hand. So I guess you can say what I got from Hunny Nun was stubbornness.
My favorite memories of Hunny Nun was the summer she and B-Boy took all the grandkids up to Camp Primitive, and since we were supposed to really be roughing it that summer, as if the farm wasn't rough enough, we were only allowed to bring a couple of changes of clothing, and she issued each of us a fork, a spoon, and a knife before we left, and told us to start thinking about where we were going to sleep, under the stars, or build a little lean-to, or we could do what she was planning on doing, which was to dig a cave out of the side of a hill. So as was typical with Hunny Nun, everything was an adventure, and it was frequently harder than it needed to be. But as a result, we always had a great time and made wonderful memories and came away with some incredible stories.
Okay, I just met her, and we were going to her apartment, and I was looking at all of her artwork that she had done, and she was showing me, you know, her sculptures and her paintings and drawings, and I made the mistake of saying, oh, I wish I could draw like that, but I just can't.
And I was like, Gary, don't say that to Hunny Nun.
And she goes, oh, yes you can.
What do you mean you can't?
What do you mean you can't? And so she gave me a pencil and a large piece of paper and a cup, and she turned it over and said, okay, draw what you see. And so I started drawing, and she just taught me how to shadow and how to draw. Don't say you can't to Hunny Nun.
No. One of my favorite memories of Hunny Nun is I was probably 10 years old, and my brothers and I went through shotgun training class, orientation day with Hunny Nun, and I remember taking a shotgun and learning how to crawl through barbed wire fence and how to carry it, how to always point at the ground, and how to never point at anybody or at any objects, like houses or anything. And it was just a fond memory because Hunny Nun was always a teacher, and in all aspects of her life, whether it's Camry's or whether it was mine, she was always teaching us kids how to do something, and that's what I think one of the biggest things I take away from Hunny Nun is the teacher that she was, and how much fun that she had teaching us kids how to take a shotgun in the backwoods through barbed wire fences and teaching people how to shadow when they just met them.
I just wanted to tell you how much we love you and how much we miss you, but also how much you've taught me in life, how to love other people, how to be so welcoming, and your love of learning. We will always remember that, and we miss you.
Hunny Nun taught me all about being creative. She taught me how to take a photo. She taught me how to pose for the camera, which my favorite pose is still the S curve. And she taught me all about lighting, which led me to study video production in college. Hunny Nun also taught me how to sew, which I really enjoy doing lately. And she also taught me how to shoot a bow and arrow.
Hunny Nun taught me that hard work is good. That and onion sandwiches.
The walls that confine you are the ones that you build up yourself. And she knocked down walls. She was born in a time where, as a woman, she had certain expectations and rules to follow. But as we all know, Hunny Nun didn't live to the societal norm. She lived into these amazing things, and she didn't fear failure, but embraced it. She didn't run away from criticism, but used it to grow. When she was in her 90s, she built me this box. She hand engraved it when she was in a woodshop class, and it is my goal to fill it with different dreams I have, so I can be more like Hunny Nun.
You know, your memory and your legacy is going to last forever. And as I look to your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and your great-great-grandkids, your legacy continues. Thank you for a wonderful life. With all our love.
Hunny Nun taught me how to skin a raccoon, and how to shoot a shotgun, and how to clean a raven that I killed, and she made me eat it. She taught me how to cure itchy eyes by pouring baby shampoo directly into them, and how to pick an orange without ripping off the stem. She taught me how to hold a largemouth bass by its eyeballs, and how to look people in the eyes when you're talking to them. She taught me how to sit up straight, and how to plant trees, and how to cut them down. And Hunny Nun taught me how to get excited about being alive every single morning.
I can say that you have always done things your own way. Even Trevor said the last week or two, knowing that you were going to pass, that you're going to do it your own way, and you did. We love you. Thanks.
Well, I just feel so lucky to live to know my great-grandchildren, let alone to be able to do things with them. And so, too many people limit themselves by things they think they can't do. I think most people this age, because they give up too soon. Some things are harder to do, but you push a little harder, and you do what you want to do.
Hunny Nun.
You will always be
forever young.
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 Forever young.